Air-Clips.com.
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of the Best 5 here on Air-Clips.com. And we start with a true classic and icon here. What you see here is the one and only Antonov 225 Maria, the world's largest aircraft back then, lining up the runway of Keflavik Airport, Iceland, on its way to Goose Bay in Canada. Now, first of all, after lining up, they are going to heat up the engines quite a bit before they actually release the brakes. It's a Antonov Airlines flight, obviously. This icon of global aviation has been destroyed by the Russians as part of their war aggression against the Ukrainians, and unfortunately they have destroyed this world's largest aircraft. Slava Ukraini will never be forgotten, for sure. At least we have it captured on Airclips.com. Now enjoy this rare takeoff on the 6-engined monster Maria. And yes, she does take a little bit off the runway. The takeoff weight, just as a side note, was 605 tons on this flight. And number 2, we stay with a Ukrainian triple for the beginning. The other world icon that fell victim to the Russians was the world's last commercially used Antonov 22, which hasn't flown since the initiation of the Russian war against Ukraine. And here you can see this beautiful, beautiful aircraft going airborne in Abu Dhabi for a 9-hour flight back non-stop to Kiev Gostomel factory airport back then. And here we go, shallow climb. You'll find the full film again on movies.airclips.com. Shouldn't miss out on that one. It's a unique piece of history, especially now that this aircraft as well is not flying anymore, unfortunately, in the world commercially. A lot of muscle work that you can see here, really pulling this up. True aviators, if you ask me. Alright, and now you can see here from a passenger window, if there were only passengers on board, it's a little window right behind the cockpit, facing the beautiful engines. It actually looked a little like if I was sitting on a British Aerospace 146, if I only didn't know that I was flying on a heavy Antonov 124. Now we're lining up the runway in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and we're going up to Cayenne, Guyana on a ferry flight for picking up 3 pretty large helicopters being loaded there and then being flown all the way from Cayenne into Ostend, Belgium, transatlantic. Was a very memorable flight for me, I have to say. Love flying on these aircraft, who wouldn't? And also we have the full film of all these flights available on Airclips.com for free, movies.airclips.com. Yeah, enjoy your takeoff and make sure you don't miss out on the full films. So as I said, it's a ferry flight, it's so-called. So it's an empty aircraft, so the acceleration is actually not too bad. It was really challenging to film because as you can imagine, there was no seat next to that window, which made it really challenging, and also the window was very scratched and there was only a small spot through which I could film at all. Beautiful takeoff, quite a decent climb rate, and the first and once in a lifetime experience for me to fly on an Antonov 124. Just beautiful. And here we come. Number 2, a beautiful 777. Of course, we can't do this without a proper heavy decent 777. Here we are on the flight deck of French Air Austral, based on the beautiful island of La Réunion between Mauritius and Madagascar in the South Indian Ocean. And we are about to depart for a 11-hour domestic flight, heavily loaded, maximum takeoff weight. Can you imagine? Ever been on an 11-hour domestic flight within the European Union? Here you go. Have a nice takeoff.
Check, hold. Europe. Enough. Yeah.
Again, the full movie available for free on AirClips.com. Where else?
Takeoff 1. Check. Climb 2. Check.
Radio 974, contact departure, bye.
And here we go. I won't talk much again because just enjoy the sounds. Aviation 76 takeoff, seen out of the glass nose. Got to enjoy. Can't get much better. Here we go. A nice little detail you might not be able to spot on the small screen is the fact that the captain is flying in sports shoes, which is quite a unique feature on such a heavy aircraft, but well, we made it, we're airborne, why not? Great views. If you've ever asked yourself what's the view out of these glass noses of the classic Soviet aircraft, that's exactly it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being with AirClips.com. Really appreciate that.
Air-Clips.com